No. She'll kill her. She cannot bargain with Hela. She's not strong enough to kill Hela. What does Hela want? No one can bargain with Hela. What does Hela want? What can she give her? She could give her her own soul. No. Her soul's rotting. She'd rather die. Oh. It's a worthless soul. But it's all she has to give. She has a warrior soul. What more could she give?
This war.
Soul.
Cursed souls can be cool.
She can't cross the bridge. It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous. She's done it before. You have to fight her. We know. The final battle. Get his soul back. It's the final task.
Yes, it is. This isn't just a broken bridge, is it? Mother, you showed me how to see further. To see the hidden wonders in our world and explore new paths into the unknown. To lead so that others may follow, or to warn so that they may avoid. That is our gift and our duty. I'm not going to look away in fear anymore.
She can do it. She can. She can still see the secrets.
Oh, there's another card of it.
Yep, that's what I was checking.
He's so special. She must see. She has the sight. She can see their secrets.
The Northmen say the gods will fight their last battle at Ragnarok. Their watchmen will blow the horn that can be heard through the whole world. And Odin will speak with the severed head of Mimir, which gives him good counsel. The land of the giants will thunder with the sound of their army on the move. The gods will assemble. The dwarves will leave their stones. The frost giants will come from the east. The Midgard serpent will turn up the waves. Eagles will scream and tear at the corpses with their yellow beaks. The ship of the dead will set sail.
Maybe try it from the middle of the bridge.
I'm checking. Hold on. Wait. One second. Because there's two of them. There's one over there.
Yeah.
There's an illusion. She's found a way. There's a way. She can see. She must align herself. She can do it. There's the door. She aligns herself.
We did it, AJ.
Imagine how annoying life is when everyone's like, you can just go. It's right there.
Yeah.
Nope, I have to look at the illusions. That'd be so annoying. Just be like, guys, it's there. Nope, it's not.
I mean, I feel like it would also be really annoying to be like, hey, like, I see a way to get through, and everyone's like, there isn't a way through, and you're like, ugh.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the gods will face a ship full of their foes, which Loki has steered to Asgard. It carries the fire giants, the wolf that will eat the sun, and all kinds of dark creatures. Surt will join them with his sword of fire. The cliffs will crash. Trolls will walk the land. Men will tread the road to hell, and the heavens will split open.
He sounds excited.
Yeah, well, he's a good storyteller.
Ragnarok.
I'll be backstairs.
I'll be back for you later.
Oh, come on!
The better fight.
I got slowdown powers, loser. Two of them? Come on!
Stab him in the butt.
You're close.
You're just a normal soldier. What do you think's gonna happen? Alright.
She is pissed.
I'm ready. Rawr! I'm ready to fight. Hello, it's me, Senua.
What?
The Northmen say that each god will do battle at Ragnarok. Odin will fight the monstrous wolf and be killed, but his son will avenge him and plunge his sword into the heart of the beast. Freyr will face Surt, but he had given his sword away for love, and without it, he cannot defend himself against the flames. Thor will smite the Midgard serpent to no avail. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, steam will shoot up, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and the people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
Sweet. I don't know, like, kind of like, he's a pretty good hype man.
It's gonna be fucking metal.
It's gonna be fucking sick! Now welcome to the stage, Hella.
She's a big, crazy demon lady.
That's it. He's gone. Find a good position. Surround you. They're winning. Stand up straight. Get up. Get up. She's injured. Not gonna make it. Down.
Yeah, well, he's not behind me anymore.
Behind you. Defend yourself. She finished him. He's hurt. There's blood. Finish this. End it now.
There's so many.
There's only 3. Don't worry.
Quickly get up. They're coming.
Okay. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Very
Wow,
cool.
it's kind of like mental illness.
Not a good game mechanic.
An annoying game mechanic for sure. That reminds me of like I don't know if they were trying to make a
No, I think it just didn't work.
well, what I was gonna say it reminds me of though is like sometimes you have like coping methods for like different things that are happening. Like, oh, like sometimes I do this to make myself feel better, or this is how I get through it sometimes. Sometimes it just feels like nothing fucking works.
Wait, don't attack this one anymore. Fuck. Stop attack. Okay, I want to dodge.
Behind you. The path to Hela. I can sense her. Where is she going? She's getting closer to Hela. She's going to die. I'm scared. Wait. Wait. What? What happens when she dies? What happens to us? What happens
You
to
die.
us? We die too. Do we die too? We die too. I don't want to die.
We'll all die someday.
I don't want to die.
And when everyone's gone, even the gods will die.
I don't want to die. We don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Senua, stop.
Turn back. Stop. Stop her.
Why is she going? Stop. Senua, stop. Why would she stop to die? She won't stop. 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 I don't want to die.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask you to be a part of me. If you don't want to die with me, then leave me alone.
Ooh. Tyler Jordan, those bitches.
Stop.
I don't want to die. Please stop. 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 You'll never come back if you go there.
There is nothing to go back to.
We only have each other now. Don't abandon me.
Everyone suffers. They were right about me.
Listen to me, not them. They were afraid. Like children scared of the dark.
So was I.
They made up monsters to fill the void. That doesn't make them real.
They made them real.
No!
Follow your soul and let go of the Senua of old. For there lies your weakness, and the darkness will find it.
Damn. The cure to schizophrenia was walking through a mirror? Shit.
It's not like the old stories, is it?
The noble warrior facing evil in search of victory and honor. Clear dividing lines. No. Oh, this place is not quite like that. It's as if it knows that true torment lies within. Memories you cannot defeat, cannot escape.
We must get an ultra good
This
ending if we
is
touch all the
her hell.
runes. She looks like Hella, remember?
Oh yeah, because she's got the half-destroyed face.
You see the darkness, faces of fear and suffering.
You can see it.
I remember it clearly now.
Kill your dad.
She has nothing to fear anymore. The gods have saved your mother. Through my hand.
You killed her.
It is the will of the gods.
Fuck the gods! You did this to her! Why?
This is what happens when you listen to the voices of the underworld. They crawl into your soul and rot you from the inside. Defy the gods like your mother, and the darkness will come for you too. You understand, Senua?
I understand my sword in your throat.
I do understand. You cursed me with your own madness.
You mad at
I
Mom?
was just a child. You created this darkness! You created this darkness so you could hide behind it!
Oh, okay. Still mad at your dad. Good.
Only suffering brings salvation. It is the way of the gods.
It was all a lie. You are a lie! She didn't defy the gods. She defied you. And so you killed her.
You didn't pray to the gods. You prayed to your mother. Your mother, who was too weak to fight the darkness and abandoned you.
You tortured her. You killed her. You are the darkness.
Those rituals, the years of isolation, the pain that still haunts you. It was the only way to fight the curse within you.
You're a liar.
The darkness is inside you and it will destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here. You cannot wish it away. And it will watch as you draw your last dying gasp.
I won't let you kill me.
Killing dad time. Hell yeah. just
Many weapons.
yeah, it's a lot easier to kill him now though, because she's on anger.
Spite is a very powerful motivator.
Fuck you, Dad. Wow, I'm so mad at you, Dad. See, I was right from the very first time. I was like, no, kill this dude. Kill this guy.
Which
When
like-
she was in that, like, hut with him, and he was like, I can see the darkness in your eyes. You can't leave the hut. And she's like, I'm leaving. I was like, you should kill him right now.
This almost sounds like Stevie Nicks in the background.
Probably is.
Behind you.
Stevie Nicks always shows up when it's like, it's time for witch power.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Like in,
Like tap into your feminist witch power.
yeah, feminist witch power. Not just feminist power, just feminist witch power. Use magic. I always love how she was like, oh yeah, Stevie Nicks is a witch in American Horror Story.
Yeah. And they're like, what? And she like shows up.
Have you seen Apocalypse?
No.
American Horror Story Apocalypse is like all the best seasons. They're like cameos from all the best seasons.
I can see through your darkness.
And then everyone got happy endings.
You're a liar and a murderer. And if you really are Hela, then I have a sword here that can kill a god.
I'm looking at you. Okay.
Are we supposed to put that bridge together?
I'm thinking that, but I'm trying to
It's kind
kind of not put togetherable.
of, yeah.
Let's see. Maybe like a bridge over here? Do I just leap of faith? No. Wait, hold on. Hi, Mom! Hi, I'm coming!
Can we
This is
like,
not... Maybe I can like...
Oh.
Oh, I just gotta just do it. Okay.
Look at you. Running forward, moving backwards to wallow in your miserable past. You're making a mistake searching for Dillion. The same mistake that killed him in the first place.
Alright, Dad, yeah. Blame me for the
Trying
Vikings.
to save you from yourself. You said that it is a lie. The plague of darkness, the butchering of Dillion by the Norsemen. You saw it yourself.
You told everyone I was cursed. They believed you. I believed you.
Tell me, Senua, where is Dillion's soul if the darkness is alive? How you save him?
He's here. I know he's here. Dillion, I know you're here. Hold on. I'll find you.
what just happened?
What do you mean?
Sorry.
Hold on.
This is kind of neat. It's like to all the bosses I've fought before.
This is a journey.
me again with your lies. I know he's here. You took him from me. You have him.
Dillion is gone. Dillion is dead. Let him go.
Or what? What can he do to me that you haven't already?
He betrayed your
Fight me.
father. He
Come
betrayed
on.
the gods in search of Dillion, in search of love. Look where that's got you. Let go of the god. Let go of redemption. Let go of Dillion.
Behind you.
Don't let your darkness hurt anyone else.
Shut up, Dad! I do kind of like that, unlike other games, they don't... Well, I mean, they do kind of wait their turn to come fight you, but,
Yeah.
not as much. Alright, guys, come on.
Alright, calm down. Everybody just needs to calm down.
Let go. Go, Senua. You're going to die.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, fuck you, I tried. So, not you, Stacy.
Yeah.
You don't tell me when to give up.
Fuck you, audience. Just kidding.
You don't tell me when to give up.
If you're alive, and there's no darkness, then you never took him from me, did you? And I can't save Dillion. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him? You're not a liar, but you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know he's here. I know you have him.
That sucks. She almost had clarity, and then it went back into...
I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul.
Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. If you release it. But if you won't, you will have to kill me. Because I've got nothing left. No fear. No hate. No quest. Nothing. And you will have no power over me.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, Senua. Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until all you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from our darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day, a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea. Do not mourn the waves, the leaves and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting to be seen again.
Oh no. Oh. It's the rot. The darkness is back. The darkness is back. Wait. What is it? It feels... It's different. It feels... okay. Is it okay?
This is where my story once began.
It's different.
And so it has to end here.
It's changed.
Because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend, go with her. This now will be your story to witness. Goodbye.
I like that the ending was now she's cured. You know?
Yeah.
She's cured of her grief, but she's not cured of her disorder.
Mm-hmm.
She learns how, well, it's implied that she's learned to cope better.
Yeah, I'm a little, I don't know that all of the metaphors for the ending really landed for me, but
I think
I appreciate a lot what they were trying to do, and I enjoyed the journey.
I think there was this moment where she was saying, "You're a liar, all of this is lies," and she was almost there where she was figuring out that maybe this wasn't real, and then she dove back in. And I've seen that happen where you show somebody, look at this doesn't make any sense, and they almost get there but then they stop themselves, because if none of it is real, that's even scarier. Mm-hmm. And so then they find all these other reasons why it's real. Well, here's proof as why it's not real. And they go, well, actually, this is fake, and all these other reasons, and that's why that piece of evidence of why this is not real is actually real. And
that's not even just a mental health thing. People do that all the time with just logic stuff that they don't want to accept.
Yeah, I thought that was not a happy ending, but I thought it was a good ending to me. I didn't think it was a happy ending because she was still stuck. And I guess if you're in ancient northern Scotland, I don't think there are a lot of options for recovery.
Yeah.
So for her, that was probably the best outcome she could have figured out.
Yeah.
It wasn't her trying to overcome her mental illness. It was her trying to overcome her grief, mm-hmm. which was something that she was able to do within the confines of her mental illness. And I liked that.
Yeah.
But now that she's finished this journey, her brain's gonna find another one, and it's gonna start all over again. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's always tough, playing. So, even though, like, neither of us are schizophrenic, when you're playing a game that, like, depicts, like, mental illness, I feel like there's a lot of ways that you kind of, like, see yourself and your similarities, which we've been pointing out, like, throughout this Let's Play, like, in the game or in a movie or whatever it is. And so it can be kind of tough, I think, when things maybe don't quite... I mean, even the article that I read, it's like things are not perfectly going to line up with your experience no matter what, because it's like no two people's experiences are quite the same. So
I just enjoyed that it wasn't a journey about fixing her mental health. It was a journey about something else while also dealing with the fact that she has a severe mental illness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but, like, I don't even know that, like, that's really how I interpreted it while we were going through it. You know what I mean?
How did you interpret it?
I mean, like, I was just like, wow, like, we're really, like, stuck on this romance thing. You know? Like...
You couldn't connect with the romance part? Or...
It's just that, like, to me, we're putting in elements of, like, grief and romance and mental health, and it's like there's a lot of, like, complicated elements there, and I just don't know that the through line of, like, what this game was trying to say was as clear for me as it seems like it was for you. Like, I was picking up, like, a lot of different, like, things that it was trying to say, and none of it really seemed to, like, which is why, like, at the end I was kind of like, none of this really seemed to come together for me. Not saying that it's bad or that I didn't enjoy it, but it just, I was kind of like, oh, okay.
For me, I felt like it was her dealing with a lifetime of shitty things that happened. Not just her. From my perspective, the romance part wasn't that important to me. I think he just happened to be the only person who was ever nice to her.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like the quest of the whole game.
Well, it is the quest of the whole game, but there's also these other elements. She just picked this one thing to be the thing that's going to solve everything. Mm-hmm. But there's also the trauma of her father being abusive, which is a big theme. And also the trauma of her mother dying, which is a big theme. And the trauma of just an entire village being decimated by Vikings or Northmen. And also the relationship between her and Druth. I think, yeah, it was a big part of the game where it was like, I have to find my love and get over that grief. But with that one thing that she was hyper-focused on, it also came up with all this other baggage of, yes, you're hyper-focused on this head thing that you're holding on to. But along with this head, because I feel like when people are either depressed or have mental illness or whatever, they think, if I can just solve this one thing, all my other problems will be solved. But I feel like throughout the game, it became less about the head. I'm just going to refer to it as the head, and more about all the other things that has happened to her in her life, even though she keeps telling her it's about the head, but it's not about the head. It's about everything else, too.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, this is kind of like what I was talking about, where it's like you relate it to your personal experience. Mm-hmm. I never feel that way. Mm-hmm. I never feel like if I just fix this one, like, that's just not how, like, if I just fix this one thing, that will fix everything, because everything seems bad.
That was just my interpretation of how I see my interactions with people, I guess, or when I talk to people or whatever. If I could just have the love of my life back, if I could just have somebody fix me, if I could just have something, mm-hmm. then all these other things are going to go away. But it's not going to be that way. That's just how my experience with just speaking to anybody. Not just you. Not obviously You're stronger.
I mean, well, it's interesting though because like that's the way I feel like you see that narrative a lot in media. I feel like when I talk to people, what I usually hear more of is like everything is wrong. There's no way to fix anything. But that's also because like that's closer to my experience. So that's probably like my own like confirmation bias that like, oh, that's the thing I relate to. So when other people say it, like I feel affirmed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but
overall, very interesting storytelling, and I still enjoyed it, even though I didn't. Maybe there were like lots of like individual elements that I connected with, even though like the story wasn't like super clear for me.
What parts weren't clear?
It just, what I said before was that it just feels like there's a lot of disparate elements that were not like tied together. Like, because we have all these pieces of trauma, we have her story with Dillian, we have her mental illness, and then like there's not, the ending just didn't really, I don't know, it just seems to like kind of like throw a bunch of pieces out there. And
I feel like the ending to me explained that when she was young, her dad killed her mom.
Yeah.
And then he kept her inside and said, if you don't do as I say, I'm going to kill you like I killed your mom. And then one day, Senua sees Dylan and he's doing his fight dance, and she finds like a ray of hope in her life, and then they fall in love, but then a plague comes, and at first he says it's not her fault, but everyone's like,
I understood what the story was.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, these elements did not seem to, I understood the story as it was explained. What I'm saying is that those elements were not brought together in a satisfying way for me. I feel that the ending does not address most of these things for me.
I feel like I like that it didn't address them. Does that make sense? Like, it didn't fix any of those problems.
I'm not saying it has to fix it. I just felt like,
in your opinion, in what way would you like of them to be addressed?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're asking me on the spot to like rewrite the ending of the game. I don't
know. I'm not trying to. I'm genuinely asking because I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from.
It's hard for me to describe. I just like the ending of it felt kind of like we just kind of like threw a bunch of like story elements up in the air, and then we're like, and that's it, you know. And then they're like, oh, like now we're going to go tell another story, which, okay. I felt like there was like, to me, that ending, I know that I think what they were trying to go for was like some acceptance and some release of the grief. I didn't really get that. Just, it didn't feel like enough for me, I guess, if that makes sense.
For me, I think the unveiling of all the story elements, they weren't really stories, but more her... To me, the journey was her remembering her trauma. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To me, so when she hits the end, she's unveiling the extent of all of her trauma so that she can remember everything. Does that make sense to you? But that's just my interpretation.
Yeah.
So when I saw her remembering in full everything that happened rather than seeing interpretations of it, that was a part of her healing process. It wasn't that it needed to be put together. The resolution, to me, was simply that she remembered it all. But, and her being like, you lied to me, voice in my head. This is what really happened, and this is what you did, and I am remembering now why I hate you so much, and why your voice is so important to me. But it's not important to me anymore, because I remember what you did, and I am angry about it, and I am expressing my anger.
Yeah. I mean, I guess just though, like, from the rest of the game, like, I don't really get the sense that that's, like, a conclusion. You know what I mean?
Well, throughout the game, it does unveil more and more memories.
No, I know. I guess what I'm saying is, like, if we've spent this entire game establishing that her memory is not to be trusted, and that, you know, her feelings about things can kind of go back and forth, then we can't really trust a resolution like that. Because it's like, oh, I've remembered why I hate you voice in my head, and, like, 2 minutes from now I'm going to forget and I'm going to hate myself all over again.
Will she forget, though?
I mean, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience, that things that I hated myself for when I was 15, I still hate myself for, like, 18 years later. So, I mean, maybe that's me reading into it with my own personal experience.
Well, either way, we both felt the game in different ways, and that's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that I didn't like the game. I guess I don't know, like, what else I would have wanted from the ending, but just, yeah.
I think it's good that it doesn't have a good ending. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Good ending is not what I meant. I meant
satisfying. I think it's good that it doesn't have a satisfying ending, because, in my opinion, there's never really a satisfying ending to that.
You can have a bad ending and still have it be satisfying.
So, okay. I don't quite understand, but I don't I'm
like,
not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah, okay, so imagine, like, for all those movies that I love where everyone dies at the end. There's a satisfying conclusion, but it's still, like, literally the worst possible ending. You can have the worst possible ending and still have it be satisfying.
Okay. So... Right. I don't understand, but that doesn't mean I think that you're wrong.
I'm just... It's like a subjective matter of taste, so I don't know how I could get you to understand what would be satisfying for me.
I'm just saying that I just don't... I don't think that you're wrong. I don't get it.
It's kind of like somebody saying, like, I don't like this. Why don't you like it? I don't know. I just don't, you know?
Okay. I'm accepting that.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.